Good Wednesday morning to you, gardening friends. It's a new video. Time to get cranking. Couple of things. One, I got all this stuff sitting on the wall there. I need to get that back where I was working on the the regulator that I did in the last video. So yeah, I got to get that taken care of, and then we get into the weeds. Pleasant little surprise here. While I was cleaning up, I noticed this onion is going completely crazy, and I think I can actually see a little bit of it poking through the surface. I'm kind of wondering if it's just gotten that much bigger or what. So maybe next time we need a red onion, I'll pull this thing out. I'm not sure exactly where it fits in the plant. I may leave it there just because that's an interesting looking plant, except that it's going to kind of get in the way of trying to produce actual food. Well, I mean, not that an onion isn't food, but just in terms of my original plan, real estate is kind of valuable. But anyway, just a pleasant surprise. Now on to the weeds. Alright, well, that made a bit of a difference. I still have everything else to do, but I kind of got sidetracked right after I said let's get to the weeding, and so I did finally get to it, and I'd say that makes a bit of a difference. Still got to toss a bunch of soil up there, but now I could do that, or I could continue weeding. I think that's going to be it for today. I want to protect my back, so let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Thursday morning to you. I think it's time to get back into the weeds. It's okay, Edith. Okay, slight change of plans. I need to deal with soil management, which I'm kind of a little off on. So let's kind of take a look at that. Let's see if I can't move without jerking around too much. So what we've got here is, let's see if I can come around. I've got one small bin with a mixture of larger and smaller gravel. I want to sort that. I'm going to need this bin, but this bin has right now sifted soil, so that can go up on the hill. Then I've got these bins right here. I'm out of shot here. These bins right here and here. This one seems like the drier of the two, so it'll be easier to work with this one. I'm going to have to somehow dry it out. But if I can get the soil from this into that system and get it sifted, then I can get some of the soil up on there, up under the trees. But I think what I'm going to do is just deal with some of the sifting that needs to get done. If I can get this thing emptied out today, that opens up more possibilities. Let's just get cranking on this. Okay, that made a dent in it. I didn't finish the large bin of soil because it started getting too wet. So I put that on the driveway. Hopefully that will dry out by tomorrow. I got to make sure I don't have it in some position where it's going to get hit by the sprinklers when they go off. But that kind of takes care of that. That emptied out one bin. I can go back to what I was doing. Yeah, I think what I got to do is I've got to manage the soil first. I've got to get myself to one larger bin being empty. That way I can deal with two different sizes of gravel. And then I can get back to this whole area up here. So I'm going to take a little break and we'll get back to pulling weeds. Okay, it's a little bit later. Battery shut off on me. I managed to get all the way over to, let's see if I can show you, about there. Probably about 2/3 of the way across. I'm still having to go up and get some of the stuff up above. Oh wow, I got a whole bunch up on top there to deal with at some point. But I can probably, well, anyway, I could sit and try and figure all of this out, but it's not worth trying to figure every step out in advance. Bottom line, I need to get the rest of this out. As far as the soil management, I've got that one bin sitting on the driveway. I've got a big mess on my hands here, but I've got one bin on the driveway. It's not being exposed to so much sun right now, but hopefully it will dry out a bit. There is a sprinkler right over there, but it will most likely just hit the side sort of from the other direction. I think I'm okay. And that should pretty much cover things for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Friday morning to you. Well, we got some stuff done yesterday. Let's see what we can do about continuing today. Let's go look at the driveway and see what that bin of soil looks like. I kind of want to get that done before I go pulling weeds. This is what I ended up doing, is propping it up against the garage door. I probably should have taken a block and put it underneath instead, because that'll put stress on the trim. But it does look like it's drying out a bit on the top there. I guess the only way to really find out is to dig into it. Unfortunately, it's all just a little too wet. I managed to get some of it sifted, but it's just basically like trying to push mud through a screen. So I think what I'm going to do is the one that's on the driveway, I'm going to pull that out to the lawn for today. This one here, right here, I'm going to leave open, but I've got to remember tonight to cover it back up again. It's going to be too heavy for me to drag this thing out to the driveway or out to the lawn. I'm going to have to remember to cover it tonight because the sprinklers will go off tomorrow. So don't want to get even more water in there while I'm trying to dry stuff out. Eventually I'll get through all of it. It's just, unfortunately, we had a lot of rain in January and I just haven't paid any attention to any of this, so it kind of got away from me. But it'll get dealt with. So, on to the weeding. Well, I didn't exactly finish, but battery didn't go dead because I had a thought. I finally thought to bring my, get that in view there, my battery bank and use that as a backup. And so it lasted. The only other thing that could have happened is it would have run out of memory. But before that happens, I'll just wrap up for the day because I'm going to call it quits here. But I've got, let's see if I can go mobile. I forgot to turn on the stabilizer, but see, I got a bucket full of oranges. It's just crazy how much has fallen off of that tree. But you can also see that I got a bunch of them that I've rolled down the line there. Those are the ones that are cracked open or super soft or just plain rotted. So those are all going to go in the trash. But that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Sunday morning to you. Took yesterday off to get a few things done inside the house. Now I'm back outside. I've got a little bit of time today, not too much, but I kind of wanted to assess what we've got going on here. I did notice that there weren't quite as many fallen oranges yesterday. In fact, I don't think there were any. Let's see what we've got in the trap. We got one right here. And that may be out, unfortunately. It's been damaged, so I'll have to get rid of that one. Yeah, we got enough of them inside. So that's what that looks like. The nasturtium are doing really nicely, just as a cover crop. I'm happy with that. I don't think I'm going to get up on the hill and do any more weeding today, but one of the things I've been wanting to get to is this soil that just keeps getting, it's just not drying out. So I ended up putting some of the soil there yesterday just to let it dry out a bit. I ended up putting, this is actually the bin that I've been putting out on the lawn, and then there's more in here. So I wanted, because I really want to get one bin cleared if I can. I'm going to try and get this dealt with and sifted, and then, believe it or not, we're finally starting to run low on tangerines inside, so I could go pick a bunch of these or even trim the tree a little bit more. So I think that's what I'll do next. Okay, note to future self. The cultivator does a nice job of getting the stuff free out of the bin. So the bin that was here that you just watched me clear out and turn into sifted soil, small soil, and that little bucket with some of the bigger, small gravel and larger gravel. This, which is going to go under the tree in a minute, but that did really help. So I managed to get through that one. That bin has now been washed out and sitting on the driveway because the drain holes didn't seem to be doing much before. So just cleaning it out clears the drain holes. That leaves me with this one. Quite a bit in there, but maybe I won't attack that today because this is full. Yeah, that's it for now. Let's see what I can get that up there, and then get to picking some tangerines. Okay, that's not a bad haul. I may have gone out of frame a few times, but got a little bit of cleaning and organizing to do around here. Kind of get everything set up for whatever the next stage is going to be, but I think I'll leave you with that and let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Monday morning to you. Looks like we got a mixture of sun and clouds with a slight chance of, I don't know if you call it rain, showers, sprinkles, whatever. I could never quite tell the difference between all of those. All I know is we might have some precipitation. And then it looks like it gets more likely tomorrow. So I want to try and get some of this soil dealt with. Let's get cranking. Okay, that last little bit took some breath out of me. Unfortunately, this is just too wet to be able to go through. Maybe some of the stuff right in the back there is okay, but what I ended up doing was clearing at the front here so that the drain holes in the front, see if we can focus there, that they would work better. Then I piled it up towards the back, sloping towards the front, so that the water would drain out. And then the last thing I did there was I put a board in the back there and put this at about a little bit of an angle so that gravity would take the water towards the front here. Granted, the drain holes are a little high up, but if it builds up enough water down there, and then on top of that, I mean, if there's a bunch of water in there in a couple of days, I can just try and climb up there and tilt it forward and let the water drain out. That'll help a lot, I think, towards getting the water out of this soil so I can sift it. What I did manage to put together, I tossed up on the hill. I have not tried to grade it yet, but I'm not going to worry about that much right now. I do need to get the cover back on here so if it does rain, or when it does rain, we don't get more water in there. But that pretty much takes care of what I can do with the soil right now. So I'm thinking I've got a little bit more of the weeds over there. Let's get ready and go after it. Right, as the gardeners next door work in the distance, I think trying to do any more today would be a fool's errand. The skies are getting darker. I did manage to get, I can say I got all the weeds out up to the fence, so that's a good thing. Still a ton of weeds on the other side of the fence, but that puts me in a position now where I can try and build up if I need to over on this side. I don't know how much I could really build up because the hill is pretty steep right here, whereas there's a little bit more area to work with on the other three trees. So I need to figure that one out, but I think this video is long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. That'll give me a chance to finish editing and release it. Yeah, it's been an adventure. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself. Take care of the ones around you. And may your thumb be green.